and it's a tribute to a fantastic local candidate, and a fantastic local candidate, by the way, that has had to put up with pretty elitist and classist comments about him. But this man lives here, he's from here. The other candidates are going to leave this constituency tonight, and whereas David's not leaving it tonight, he lives here, and he'll be blown to his neighbours and friends tonight who have supported him and voted for him. But let's be really clear about what's happened here tonight. And I don't want to just reflect on the result, I want to reflect on the conversations I've been having on the doorstep. And the conversation we're having on the doorstep and the result tonight is a demonstration of a few things. First, people want a UK Labour government to go further and faster in improving their lives, and they want to feel that improvement in their lives, and I think that's a clear message today. Secondly, they've had enough of this SNP government. After 18 years, they have let scuttle down and let communities across the country. Third, they've rejected the politics of Nigel Farage and reform, and today the people of Hamilton, Larkhall and Stonehouse have laid the first stone in that pathway to a Scottish Labour government.
Ross Lambie, Reform UK, 7,088. Katie Loudon, Scottish National Party, 7,957. Richard Nelson, Scottish Conservative and Unionist Party, 1,621. Davy Russell, Scottish Labour Party, 8,559.
Well, of course, the immediate reaction is one of disappointment. We've run an assertive ground campaign, we've worked hard, we had a fantastic candidate in the shape of Katie Loudon. She would have been a great representative for this area. Obviously it's been very difficult circumstances for us because it came on the back of the loss of one of our own, the much loved Christina McKelvey. So yes, of course we're very disappointed. Well look, I'm not trying to spin this here, but I would caution against saying that the Labour vote held up. Just a year ago in the closest equivalent Westminster seat, they won nearly 50% of the vote. Now, they've still come first, and congratulations to them, as you would expect me to say, but I think there are lessons for more than just the SNP to learn tonight. Well look, no, we also had a focus on the Scottish Labour Party as well, of course we did. We were looking to point to their record, and I think a lot of people are disappointed with them, still are disappointed with them in a short period into government, but I'm still proud of the fact that they took reform head on. If reform are going to be a presence in Scottish politics, and a pretty malign presence, then I think the way you deal with them is tackle them head on.
Just in the immediate aftermath, are there any lessons that the SNP need to learn ahead of next year's election to continue their winning streak at national elections?
Well, of course, we need to go away and think about what we did right here and what we did wrong, and that's what you do in the aftermath of any election. Win, lose or draw, that is what you take away from a campaign. But we will continue to try and respond to the priorities of the people of Scotland. We know that it's a difficult period for people right now in terms of cost of living challenges. We know there are concerns about public services, and we're trying to respond to those challenges. That's why we're bringing back a winter fuel payment for pensioners when Labour took it away. That's why we're looking to mitigate against the two-child cap. That's why we're investing into the National Health Service to significantly increase capacity at primary care and also in secondary care. So we will continue to try and respond to people's priorities, and I'm sure as we get in the run into 2026, when people are actually staring down the barrel of who will form the next Scottish Government, they'll be voting for John Swinney and the SNP.
But I do think there have been unfair attacks.
Just have an immediate response to the build-up tonight.
We're thrilled to bits. I mean, a three-way marginal here in this by-election. It's a fantastic result. Just a few hundred votes away from the SNP. Nobody predicted that. They thought they'd sort of got it in the bag. And three parties within less than 1,500 votes. And I think that sort of sets us fair with excitement and momentum for the next 11 months into the Holyrood elections. And isn't it remarkable that despite all of the sort of the aggressive language from the coalition of the terrified of the SNP and Labour, actually the good voters here in Hamilton, Larkhall and Stonehouse have said, actually, do you know what? A lot of people said they're going to vote for the first time, and they rather like some of Reform UK's policies. Drill Scotland drill, net stupid zero is destroying jobs, it's destroying prosperity, and people say, yeah, actually I understand that, makes good common sense, and we're with you, and we want to talk about interesting, important issues.
And you mentioned the Holyrood election, we have 11 months until then. What do we need to do to continue this momentum?
A good question. We'll be working that out. We've just got to keep rolling our sleeves up, working hard, brilliant candidates like Ross Lambie and his great team. And yeah, it's not easy. No one is saying this is easy. It's really, really hard. But we just got to push on, collect as much data as we can, see where we get to.
And it's made a lot harder by the resignation of your party's chairman yesterday. Do you think that there should be a discussion around banning the burqa?
I'm sad to see Zia. We're all sad to see Zia go. I want to express my thanks to him. He's done an incredible job, worked so hard. Politics is difficult. It's hard. Sometimes it's not for everybody, and but actually, why can't we have debates and discussions about important issues that people have a view on? And I think the idea that sort of many in the media say, no, it's very naughty, you mustn't talk about this stuff, you're a naughty boy, is ridiculous. We should be able to have a respectful, calm debate about issues that cause concern. And Sarah Pochen raised it because she, as a woman, is concerned that it treats women as second-class citizens, that it could be regressive, it could be an issue of security. Let's talk about it and let's find out where the people are. We should be able to do that in a mature democracy that thrives on the principle of free speech. Thank you so much.
Do you share her concern?
Yeah, I do actually. I think it's right to discuss it and debate it, and then the country can come to a view. Brilliant. Lovely to see you. Thank you so much.
Look, what an incredible result. I always knew we were in the race, and it's fantastic to have won. But I think it's important that I reflect not just on the result, but the many, many conversations I had on the doorstep and the message I believe the people of Hamilton, Larkhall and Stonehouse have sent us today. And that message is, I think, a few things. One, they want a UK Labour government to demonstrate more quickly a benefit and improvement in their lives. Second, they've had enough of the SNP government and they want a change after 18 years where they feel as if everything has been broken by them. Third, they utterly reject the politics of Nigel Farage and reform. And so what the people of Hamilton, Larkhall and Stonehouse have done today is lay the first stone in that path to electing a Scottish Labour government next year.
And the narrative around this election was there's a real chance that Scottish Labour could come third because of the decisions that were made in Westminster. You could have been impacted by that UK Labour government. What does that result here today say about where Scottish Labour is going for next year's election?
Well, I think the people need to change the script because we have proven the pollsters wrong, we have proven the commentators wrong, we've proven the bookies wrong, and we've proven John Swinney and so many others wrong too when John Swinney was pretending that this was a two-horse race between him and reform. And what does it say about a government that's been in power for 18 years and all it has to offer in a campaign is vote SNP to stop Farage when Farage could never win here and he can't win across the country. I'm going to focus on what matters to people here, making sure Labour government delivers for them, changing the government here in Scotland and electing a Scottish Labour government.
I just wanted to the candidate, there was some criticism level at Davy Russell about his seeming inability to deal with the media. What do you make of that in terms of the result that we've got today?
Well, he has been a fantastic candidate, a phenomenal candidate, a well-known local candidate, and that's been vindicated by the result today. And I think there has been an element of classism and elitism in terms of how people have spoken of him. I don't mean that more broadly. I think it's very fair for people to ask questions and for him to speak to journalists, which he has done on numerous occasions. But there has been that kind of air around the media narrative around him. But actually, I think that's only made him more appealing to his local community because you've got to remember, he's never been a politician. I don't mean that in disparaging, but he's never been a politician. He's doing this because he believes in his community, wants to deliver for his community, and his community have backed him.
One of the overriding messages that we've seen in this by-election has been the rise of reform. They came incredibly close to second place here for the SNP. What does that say about where Scottish politics is?
Well, there is an element of division and poison from reform, but I think it's also important to stress that there are many people who feel tempted by reform because they have very legitimate concerns about what's happening in their lives. They don't feel as if government works for them, they don't feel like the economy works for them, they don't feel like the public services work for them, and therefore they're expressing their frustration in the ballot box by some of them choosing the most disruptive option or being tempted to choose the most disruptive option. The point I'd make here though is, thinking about an election next year, reform can't replace the SNP, but they can help them. And so if you want to get rid of the SNP, the only vehicle to do that is by voting Scottish Labour across the country.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to start by thanking the returning officer, all his staff here and across the constituency and the police for the way the election has been handled. You have again done South Lanarkshire proud. I would also like to thank the other candidates for playing their part in the democratic process. and I wouldn't be standing here now if it wasn't for the effort of the whole Labour campaign team. You were sensational. And I also must thank my family and friends for the support they've given me throughout this campaign. I am so proud to be elected as member of the Scottish Parliament for my home and my community. I said in this campaign that I will put this community, our community, first. I will work every single day to do that. Hamilton, Larkhall and Stonehouse has voted tonight to take a new direction with Scottish Labour. Like the people here in Hamilton, Larkhall and Stonehouse, and right across Scotland, we all feel we've been let down by the SNP. They've broken our NHS, wasted our money, and after nearly 2 decades, they don't deserve another chance. This community has also sent a message to Farage and his mob tonight. The poison of reform isn't us, it isn't Scotland, and we don't want your division here. Reform have no real answers to the issues we face, and they can't beat the SNP here or replace them across Scotland. And for Ross, can you see me now? Anas Sarwar and Scottish Labour are ready to fix our NHS and end the SNP's addiction to wasting your money, restore our public services, and only Scottish Labour can beat the SNP across Scotland. The road to a new direction for Scotland in 2026 with Anas Sarwar as First Minister and a Scottish Labour government begins right here. So let's go and win it together. Thank you.